we're going to have a look at slip angles, which is the difference in between the direction the tyre is facing and the direction the car is travelling. We've shown this with a red line for the direction the tyre is facing and a blue line for the direction the car is travelling. As you can see, as we build the speed up, the blue line made the circle larger, and the red line where the wheel is pointing can move anywhere at once within the optimum slip angle window. So as we turn the wheel in, the angle becomes bigger, but it doesn't change the direction the car is facing. We want to find the maximum cornering force, and the reason some slip is good, if you have a look at the tyre when it comes around the corner, you can see the tyre stays the same position on the front and back of the wheel, whereas when it comes in contact with the road, it deforms. So if we're turning this way, the car comes underneath; turning the other way, the tyre pulls off the rim. So if we see it again, the tyre is moving underneath the rim, and then it'll come back up to straight behind it, so the tyre is actually going to be crabbing across the road. So you have a look at the Caterham and going around, you can see that we build the speed up as the slip angles increase, and when we meet our maximum slip angle, optimum slip angle, we can move the wheel in and out, and it doesn't make a difference to the size of the circle. We'll actually be cornering at a slightly higher cornering force when we're on our optimum slip angle. But since you learn to drive, if you wanted to turn left, you'd turn the wheel left. If you weren't turning as much as you wanted to, you turn the wheel more. We're showing that when you reach a certain point, there's no point turning the wheel anymore. The same principles are seen in the front wheel drive car. Even though the drive is going through the front wheels, when you're coming round, if you are building the speed up, there's a maximum force the car can take. Once you start exceeding that, the circle has to become bigger. Doesn't matter where you have the tyres facing. If you ease the wheel out a bit, it'll grip. When we do it this way round, you can see the tyre is leaning over. You can see the direction the car is going, but you can't see any difference to the direction even though the wheel is moving. As we eased off, the car tightens up. We're going to use that idea to move the car around the airfield. So in this clip, what we have is the wheel staying in one position, and we're using the throttle to move the car around the airfield by increasing and reducing the slip angles. So on the throttle, the size of the circle would become larger. This pushes us over to the other side of the airfield, then ease off the throttle, and the car will tighten its line up, and we still have moved the steering. Onto the throttle again, move us right up to the grass, and we lift off the throttle, and it will tighten the line, and we'll actually start doing quite a small circle where our slip angles are being reduced. Each time we come round, we're moving slower and slower, and the circle has become smaller and smaller. The same ideas are used in the rear wheel drive car. However, we have to be a little bit more gentle with the throttle. The throttle can still increase and reduce the speed of the car, but it also affects the rear end a lot more. You can see that the car can be pushed nice and wide, and we can tighten the line up, so I'm pushing it right over to the right, and then when I ease off, the car will tighten up and the line becomes a lot tighter. It's nearly going into a spin. With a little bit of throttle on, it drives away again. It's the same idea, accelerating towards the grass, easing off to let the car tighten up. If we do this to an extreme level, I'll accelerate from one side of the airfield all the way over to the other side of the airfield. On the way back, I'm going to lift off completely to allow the car to turn in, which will actually put us into a spin.